What's up? What's up?
Okay.
Okay, I was demonstrating on how to use R as a calculator, and I think there is some easy stuff. You can all do it. We have seen on how to perform addition. You just use the plus sign. Subtraction, you use the minus sign. Multiplication, you use the asterisk sign. Then on division, you can use the backslash. Let's say you want 4 divided by 2. Control Enter to run your program. You can see the output in the console. Are we all here?
Yes, we are.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Let's proceed with the slides. Okay, we have seen one use case of R. We can use it as a calculator, and we have seen all the operations we can do using R. We can also find the square roots, the cube roots, but we'll tackle those one in functions. Okay, now let's proceed. Let's proceed to variables, data types, data objects, and variable operations. Okay, so to define a variable, many people call it a container, basically something that holds something, but we can define it as a named unit of data that is assigned a value. And there are several ways to assign a variable in R. We have two major ways, which is using the equal sign, and the other one you use less than, then the small dash. You can also use that to assign a variable. So maybe I'll demonstrate on that one also. Let's open our studio. Now let's say I want to record my current height. Say height is now the variable that is going to hold our data about the heights of different people. So let's say height is equals to 5.6. That one you've already assigned a variable, a value 5.6. Now, if we come and run height, it should output the value 5.6. Just the way I explained it before. A variable, it's like a container. It holds value for a certain data. So our data here is height, and it's assigned a value of 5.6. If we run this, you see in the outputs we have 5.6 as our result. So basically that is what a variable is. If someone asks you what a variable is, you can now easily explain to them. A variable can be defined as a named unit of data that is assigned a value. That is the right definition for a variable. Okay, we'll proceed to the next slide where I'll discuss about data types. Then after that, I'll invite Jeremiah to come and tackle some other bits about data objects and functions in R. Then later we can see how we can proceed. Okay, let's now talk about data types. A data type is an attribute of a piece of data that instructs a computer on how to interpret its value. There are these are some of the data types used in R programming. We have numeric data types, which is basically numeric values, including the decimal values. That is, we call that one a numeric data type in R. Then there is the bit of integers. Integers takes whole numbers only. Then we have logical data types, which are true and false. It specifies if a statement is either true or false. Then we have complex data types. We have character data types and text data type. Say for instance, your name, my name, I've assigned a variable called name, then its value, I insert something like my name, Moses. That's a string or character data type. Using R, you can show what data type a variable is. So let's take for instance, we want to create a variable, then know what class of data type it is. Let me demonstrate that one also. We'll still proceed with the height. So height is equals to 5.6. This one is a numeric data type because it takes whole numbers. It takes not whole numbers, it takes all numeric values, including decimal numbers. So if we type class, this is how you know to what data type does your variable belong to. So let's say you type class, then specify the variable, which is height in our case. If you run this, it will give you the result below here in the console window. You see the result is written as numeric, to mean that our variable here is a numeric data type. Why is it numeric? Because it also has a decimal point. Correct. Now we'll proceed to the next type of data, which is integer. And I said integer are whole numbers. Basically, integers are whole numbers. You can't assign a decimal number, then you classify it as a numeric data type in R language. If you assign a whole number, you refer to it as an integer in R. So let's say, for example, age, your age, then you insert. If you insert your age as a whole number, then we run. Now let's see to what class does age belong to. You type class, insert the variable name, which is age, control enter. Oh, sorry. There is one thing I forgot to tell you. If you're assigning a whole number, you must use an L beside it to specify that this is an integer. Remember, we said numeric data types. It includes whole numbers, including decimal numbers. Now we want to specify this variable as an integer. To do that, you include a capital L beside the entry. So I've included L, and now let's run it. Control enter. Then let's run the class. You see, in the console window, the result is integer. So that is how you create an integer. You must include a capital L beside the entry you've placed in for your variable. Okay, we'll proceed. Let me comment on this so you can see clearly. This one, this is numeric data type. Then we have integer. Then next, we want to move to character data type, which we also described as text or string. Okay, now character, we have said it can also, is the text or string data types. Now let's say, for instance, name, a variable called name. We've assigned it a value, Ayub. Control enter. Now let's find its class, type class, insert the variable name, which is name now. Name. Control enter. Name not found. Sorry. You have to include those parentheses on it. Those quotes, not parentheses, quotes. Now control enter. Run the class. You see, the result is character. Are we together?
Yes, we are together.
Okay. Then we have other types of data which we described as logical data types, which are true and false. Let's say you say that name, let's say something like draft equals to true. Run it, true not found, draft. Just a minute. Okay, I've said numeric data types take whole numbers, including decimals. Integer data types takes whole numbers. Who is calling me now? Hello? Sorry for that. Then logical, it takes true or false. Complex data types takes, you remember the I to stand for negative. It takes I's as complex numbers. Character takes text or string data types. Correct. Now, before we proceed, I want to confirm something here. Just a minute. Mhm. Okay. We'll share all these slides with you. I think Jeremy can proceed from there. Something is pressing me here. Just a minute. Jeremy? Jere? Is Jere around?
Hello, I can be keeping them busy as Jeremy comes. Jeremy, are you around?
Yeah, I'm around.
Okay,
you can
take
proceed.
us through.
Okay. Can you stop
You
sharing
can
the
share
screen?
your screen. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, when you are typing about logic, I wanted to know, okay, when you are typing, you typed in capital letters, but up there you had written in, I think it was.
Hello.
So I wanted to know, can it have any effect?
Oh, actually R is case sensitive. Thank you for reminding me about that. R is case sensitive. So R is very case sensitive. It means if you assign a variable starting with a small letter, you can't call it back starting with a capital letter. If you say, now let's say you have called the variable name is equals to I, and then later on you type something like name and try to run it, you won't get any answer. This is because R is case sensitive. You labeled your variable starting with small letter. You can't now call it with capital letter. Oh, I didn't finish on logical. So on logical, we said if a statement is either true or false, R will tell you automatically this statement is true, right? Now let's assign a new variable X is equals to 1 and another variable Y The other,
I can't see the screen.
hello, it's clear now.
Okay, we can't see the screen. I don't know whether the others can see.
Oh, okay. Sorry for that. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me explain that one once more. We have said that R is case sensitive. That means that whenever you label your variable with specific letters, say in this case, we labeled our variable name starting with small letter. Later on, we can come and call our variable starting with a capital letter, say letter N, then followed by those small letters, expecting that the results will be similar. It won't run. If you run Control Enter, you see on the console pane, there is no results there. Are we together?
Yes, we are together. One says hello.
Okay, thank you. So that is what it means to be case sensitive. And this applies to most of programming languages except for SQL. SQL, you can type anyhow and it will just pick. But for R, it's case sensitive. You can't type using different fonts and not fonts, but different caps and expect the same results. Okay. Now I'll proceed with the logical data. Now let's assign another variable y is equals to 3. Then let's test it out. X, let's say X now is greater than Y. Let's try to run and see what comes. First, let's run these lines, Mwanzo. Control Enter. Then let's run this one. X is greater than Y. You can see it returns false. Are we together? Okay, thank you. Now Jeremy can proceed. I think that is something that I needed to explain about case sensitivity. Or maybe any other question before Jeremy proceed? Is there any question about data types? I think that was very simple, and I don't think there will be any questions there. Maybe if someone has question, he can text, then we'll check it out later. Jeremy, you can proceed. Let me cancel out my screen now. Stop share. Jeremy, you can proceed.